What's good, everybody? What's good, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Mama Knows Best, Sorta, episode 48. If you haven't liked or subscribed, please like and subscribe. Me and Mama are super grateful for everyone that's been viewing and watching our podcast. So we are super grateful. But please, 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 if you're watching, go ahead and hit that like button. Go ahead and hit the subscribe button. And when you're watching the episode, please leave a comment because I'm sick of Mama. And I'm going to bring up Mega a little bit earlier.
Hold on. Wait a minute. I need to do an introduction because hold on, Swole.
See, these modern women are so out of control. Some days it's Mama, some days it's Michelle Obama, some days it's Aisha Curry. But I
wasn't even on the last episode. You didn't even give me a chance to say hi. I missed the audience. Nothing.
Yeah, but that was our most viewed episode without you. What is that saying?
So you bring up a gay Black Panther on this one. So we're trying to get him off. What we doing, Tricks?
Did you just call Mega Millz a gay Black? What did you just say?
What is this show coming to? Mama does not need a break. We got the gay Black Panther. Come on, man. What you got?
Hold on. Before I even get to Mega Millz, we have rebranded MKB. Megan's going to be on the show full time, and we're going to be taking we're turning it into a political commentary show. But I'm not going to bore the audience. Mega Millz, aka the gay. What happened to his? He don't even got no Wi-Fi. He can't even keep this. He can't even.
I thought you said we was upgrading. I thought you said we was.
This nigga don't even got no consistent Wi-Fi. Every time it trips.
All right.
Mega Millz, you gotta do the same, man. First you was a Black Charlie Kirk, and now you the gay Black Panther.
Let me tell you what the problem is. When I try to come onto your ethnic show and dress in a timeless fashion, right? Proper shirt, proper tie, proper cap. For some reason, your culture or you people only identify the symbols and don't make the connection to what you're really looking at. So I figured I communicate with you in a way that your people would understand.
Alrighty, whatever that means, Mega Millz, we're always happy to have you on, especially with you coming on full time. You are a superstar alongside Mama. But we have a jam-packed episode based off of the thumbnail. Shout out Rez. You're able to see what we're talking about in the title. We're going to be talking about Donald Trump. He's going to be a regular topic on this show because it's Donald Trump.
Lord.
And he's
y'all ready for that?
Oh God, Mega again with Wi-Fi. But no, obviously his first presidential run was controversial. His second run has been just as controversial. I don't know if it's even been a year yet, right? But you know, based off of conversation we've had, you know, backstage, I thought it was important to have this topic. So I'm going to kick off the first question to you, Mega. Do you believe Donald Trump has turned into the modern Hitler?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I think that you are witnessing the first president of the United States that is in a way disconnected from the system, right? And you're watching this guy try to single-handedly put systems back in place that were disrupted during the other administrations.
Well, I'm going to disagree with you on that, Mega. I think he has turned it to the modern Hitler. For me, if we take it from an historical standpoint, for me, let's take it to when Hitler rose to power in Germany, right? Because he was really just a common man that rose into being one of the probably the most popular dictator before we've seen Trump, right? How did he rise? Well, after World War One, right? The economic challenges that Germany faced after the treaties of Versailles, the Germany losing significant territory, all of its overseas colonies, right? And the global influence was wiped away. So this is a powerful country that its global influence is wiped. It's suffering right alongside the Great Depression, but then even more, the country even being even more squeezed, right, because of the Treaty of Versailles, and then the public resentment that German citizens had towards its leaders, because it was like, hey, we're left for nothing, we're left for dead. And so he was able to play on that emotion, to galvanize, right? To galvanize his people, to use extreme propaganda, right? The rhetoric was so extreme, but because people were so ready for something new, they just latched themselves on to thinking it's okay to exterminate Jews. They latched themselves on to think that Hitler was the supreme leader. And I'm starting to see, right, from the first presidency, I was in denial, but as we move into the second term, we're starting to see patterns that we cannot ignore. I can't allow Mega Millz to come
Who
in.
are we exterminating?
Brown people.
What we're exterminating is
Brown people.
no, hold on, Mama. Let me answer. What we're exterminating is illegal immigrants. That's what we're doing. We're going.
Who are we exterminating?
What?
Well,
We're not necessarily. Hold on. Let me respond to that, Mama. We're not necessarily exterminating people. That may not be. That may be a little bit of a harsh word, but do you not see what's going on with illegal immigrants? As far as they're going from state to state. They're taking the National Guard and going into businesses, going into communities, and snatching people and sending them to God knows where, right? And so, when is that even? That's never even happened in the modern century in America. That's never happened. We have Cash Patel, right? Cash Patel, leader over the FBI, saying my supreme leader Donald Trump. The rhetoric, the actions with ICE, and how we treat illegal immigrants, that is a direct correlation to how Hitler rose to power in Germany, and the same rhetoric that his governing body said about him, and the same language that Hitler used, I see Trump use.
Am I
So
chime in?
absolutely. But let me pose this before we get Mom's perspective, right? I hear everything that you're saying, but you're still not telling me how we are disposing, or what are we doing to the illegal immigrants, and what has past administrations done to illegal immigrants in comparison, right? So if we're doing the same thing that they did, just on a larger scale or on a more documented scale, then I can't attach um, that to the reason to call him Hitler. You know what I mean? If there's some sort of concentration camps that we're sticking them in, if we're putting them in these dormant jail or penitentiaries, and allowing them to fight for food and all that stuff on their own, then let's say that. But so far, I don't hear anybody saying that. We're just saying that because he's ramping up this immigration task force, he's Hitler.
Okay, so I mean, you do bring out some good points, Mega, in regards to the tying it together. So if you think about, so you have to look at Hitler, and now you have to look at Trump to see the correlation in order to answer that question. So we know Hitler, it was a systematic murder of Jews, right? So I'm saying, yes, it is. I'm not saying illegal immigrants. I'm going to make it more specific to brown and black people. And what I say to that, because when he came in and, became the dictatorship, what did that go into? It went into World War II, right? So if you look at what's going on now in regards under Trump administration, we have a dictatorship. We have elimination of freedom of speech. We're currently under a government shutdown, right? Which means you're taking money out of people's pockets. I just read an article that they were saying a lot of states are not going to be able to provide SNAP benefits 2 people starting next month. So what does that do? We talked on our last episode, we talked a lot about like survival. So when Black people can't eat, when people can't they furlough from their job, they can't get unemployment because nobody's working. You're not going to get your tax return as of right now because there's probably a backlog of people trying to get tax returns from this year. So you can't even talk about the upcoming year. We ain't getting food stamps. So what do you think is going to happen? So he's not coming in hold on. He's not coming through the front door. He's not coming through the front door like Hitler. He's backdooring it. He's backdooring it where he's shutting down all your resources. So it will start a war. And guess who was going to hit first? The Black and the brown people.
Let me ask you something.
Hold on. I'm not even gonna say Black and brown people because you made a phenomenal point, Mama. We could throw it to Meg after that. It's what he was able to do, right? Hitler was able to fight a war on He was fighting a war on 2 fronts in Russia, and he's fighting another war on a front against Great Britain. Obviously, America came in later on, and so his people suffered in Germany. As the war went on, fighting on 2 fronts, his people suffered. Like you said, the key word, the resources were limited in Germany. People were in starvation. Towards the back end of the war, they had small children under the age of 15 years old on the front lines fighting.
Right, but you're telling me so much.
Hold on. So not only was he fighting a war on 2 fronts, you crazy. He was fighting a war on his people. What Donald Trump is, because we're in a modern, because this is why I love the titling. Trump is now the modern Hitler because yes, he's not necessarily fighting a war on 2 fronts like Hitler was doing, but he's fighting a.
Didn't he just cancel a war?
Hold on. He's fighting a war on his own people. It's not just affecting Black and brown people. It's affecting white people. It's affecting Hispanic people. It's affecting Black people. It's affecting Oriental people. Well, everybody's been affected by it. The middle class is being crushed right now. And what he's doing is he's elevating himself. He's elevating his 1%. He's elevating his 1%, and everyone else is suffering. And that's what I'm saying. And he's masking. Hold on. And he's masking that suffering with propaganda. Just like Hitler was doing. Go ahead, Mega.
I'll allow you to say that Trump is a classist. I'll allow you to say that he's a capitalist. I'll allow you to say that the people that he has in his favor are people with money. But the racist conversation, the Hitler conversation, I don't feel there's enough data to back any of those points. Not from you, not from Mama, not from Eric. So what I can say is there's some background talks that he's looking to pardon Diddy. Why would you do that if you're racist? Hold on. There's conversation of him getting Kodak Black out of jail. These are characters that matter to Black culture.
But we're not just talking about Black people. We're talking about. Go ahead, Mama.
To me, the P Diddy, the Kodak Black, to me, that's an example throwing slop out to to your workers. Like I gave you something. Like when you had slaves, they worked 6 days a week and you got the 7th day off to enjoy with your family. You should be grateful I gave you a day off out of these 6 days. That's what I look at the P. Diddy and the Kodak Black. You ain't doing us a favor. If you want to do us a favor, equality, equal rights. That's what we need. We don't need you to pardon a rapist.
Go ahead, Mega.
I mean, I'm still not connecting the dots to how do we give the Hitler title to Trump for the actions that he's doing now. I'm not connecting the dots. There's a lot of times it doesn't make sense to me, right? Just like Charlie Kirk getting assassinated by a white male and then blaming Black people. Certain things don't make sense to me. We're not connecting the dots. We're just having conversations out of pure emotion. People are just talking because they just want a chance to talk. They want a platform. They want to have a voice. You heard somebody else say something, and now you want to say something to ride that that wave or connect to that same thought. But that's not really addressing any particular problem or coming up with a solution. There was thousands of people marching the other day, right? No kings. This was a big campaign against Trump. That's fine. That's American. But nobody is saying here that Trump is taking these people out of their homes, putting them in concentration camps. Trump has a plan to put us back at the all black water fountain, blacks only. People are dying, but we're not getting any of that. A lot of things that are happening, a lot of people may not feel comfortable watching or be comfortable because they don't have any control over it. But I can give you several examples of black culture that this has been going on to for decades. Where's the outrage? Where's the pushback? Where's the Obama being the Hitler at that time? Where's the George Bush being the Hitler? Where's the Bill Clinton being the Hitler?
We'll try to we'll move on to question 2. So let you ask for examples of where you could potentially connect the dot on why people feel that way, why I feel that way, why Mama feels that way. So Mama, I ask you this second question, Reg, can get this to pop up. Are illegal immigrants the new Jews? Again, Reg, are illegal immigrants the new Jews? Go ahead, Mama, to answer that question.
Well, again,
You're not Mama.
I'm gonna say yes, but I am going to again, make it specifically to the.
You want to say yes?
Why is Trump's wife still here? Why is his first wife still? His
She's not Jewish.
His current wife is an immigrant. If she's still here, his first wife was an immigrant. And
if I have the power to pardon anybody, do you think I won't pardon my wife first?
So you're talking about you're not connecting
nepotism.
I'm connecting the dots because he's the one who got rid of the DEI programs. He's the one threatened, like the universities and these corporations that's going to lose contracts if you support diversity and inclusion programs. So he is targeting the black and brown people.
We're talking about illegal immigrants.
Well, I was trying to connect the dot first and let me say what I want to say because this is Mama Knows Best. Thank you very much. So, is illegal immigrants, to answer your question, you're to the Jews, yes, but you have to remember it's a disproportionate rate of more black and brown people. So, yes, to your question in regards to illegal immigrants, but who is it majority of? If it's 10%, other cultures, then it's it's black and brown.
Go ahead, Mega.
I feel like
make it quick. I don't want to hear Mega. I don't want to hear 5 minutes from you. Get to your point.
Listen, and I get it. I don't really want to hear 5 minutes of filler either. You know what I mean? I want points to be made. I want a clean debate. I want to be able to say something that doesn't sound like Rez and Eric talking for 15 minutes. You know what I'm saying? But the issue is that with a lot of people is we want to just ride the wave. We just want to be part of a hot topic, a hot moment. Everybody is just trying to go viral. Nobody is taking anything serious. Nobody. We're going to put Hitler on Donald Trump. That's ridiculous.
That's not. Hold on. The question is, are illegal immigrants the new Jews?
Yes.
No. Absolutely not.
Okay, so
absolutely not. Illegal immigrants are not being shoved into concentration camps. Illegal immigrants are not in charge of most of black culture's music. Illegal immigrants are not going to war with Kanye West. They're not the new Jews.
You said, okay, it's very similar to what was going on in Hitler. Mass casualties. Are we not seeing that in the black community? You're talking about ICE. What do you think is going on in those camps? Abuse, starvation, death. What is the big thing in World War II? And now,
what's going on in the jails? What's going on in private prisons where
Well, you talking about you want to hear Eric. Eric already broke down the school to prison.
I don't want to hear about Eric. I don't like
so
Eric.
We ain't even gotta go.
I don't like Eric. Stop bringing up Eric. I don't want to.
That's an issue right there. That's an issue right there.
Eric is a slur.
That's black on black. So we have a black.
I'm going to mute you, Eric. Yeah. Eric is a slur. So I'm gonna let you. Every time we say Eric, that's almost saying like the F word. That's like saying the B word. Stop saying Eric. Okay, stop saying his name. I don't like Eric. I don't want to hear Eric on my podcast. Okay, if you want to hear Eric, you can go watch episode 47. That's the last time y'all gonna see Eric for about another 20, 25 episodes. You're not gonna see Eric to episode 100, and it maybe after episode 100. But to answer the question myself, I have to get. Now I'm gonna lean into me and Eric. Let me give you the history. Where does the word ghetto originate from?
I want to say Italy. I want to say ghetto.
So what were Jews put in?
Concentration camps, or the living conditions, the communities. You're saying
those communities would be called ghettos.
Yes. Okay. Yeah, but that term ghetto, I think that was it started with the Italians, and then it was carried over to. It
was popular. It became popular, right? Through what Jews had to encounter, right? So for me, right, Jews were being snatched from their life, from their communities, from their careers, from their businesses, and being rounded up into ghettos. What I'm seeing, displacement. Now, what I'm seeing with ICE right now is you're seeing people. We're not making it up. Go on social media, right? Go on TikTok. Go on YouTube. You look up ICE, they're going to farms. They're going to businesses. They're going to wherever, homes, communities, snatching people away and send them to detention centers. A detention center, in my opinion, with a slew of people just thrown together, can just be called a ghetto. And Jews, right? That's like the equivalent of Jews being thrown into ghettos, right? The correlation of the ICE detention centers. And so there is a clear, to me, connection of how ICE is maneuvering and how violent they're doing, how open they're doing it. And then the use of propaganda. You see Trump or the White House or these reporters, right? The way they're Fox News and the way they're doing it, they're using these moments as propaganda, right? And even Trump's rhetoric, that's the thing I'm focusing on more, because got a connection to answer the question how ICE is maneuvering. But Trump, even at the time this recording is going to come out next week, but just yesterday, right, Trump was saying, I can replace the mayor of Washington, D.C. No, you cannot. You are the president. That does not give you supreme power over American politics, over state and local politics. That's not how it works.
Do you believe that?
Absolutely. The president, do I believe the president, whether it's an Obama, whether it's Trump, whether it's Bush or the Bushes or whoever else, do they have massive influence on how state legislation is passed or local? Absolutely. You'd be a fool not to. Right?
Do you believe that if Trump wanted, he doesn't have the influence to change people out of certain seats?
He's a dictator.
Influence is different versus saying I can do this.
Dictator, yes.
I think that can be correct at the same time, right? Because if I know that I have the clout to do something, and it just has to be carried out a certain way, and then I'll get my way, the truth still stands that he can do these things.
But there's policies and process that are put in place that he feels like he doesn't have to follow.
Absolutely.
And that's the problem.
Right.
That's the definition of a dictatorship.
That's part of the problem, right? Another piece of the problem is we're only picking and choose when we want to play a game and when we don't want to play a game. Last time we were on, we talked about this great American game. So if there's a game and there's certain ways to play, there's certain ways to cheat, there's certain ways to get ahead, then we have to pay attention to the game and what's being played and how to play to be successful with everybody else. If we're only going to pick certain days, it's an American game happening, and the other days everybody is following the right rules, the two can't be the truth at the same time. Either we're playing a game and everybody's bending the rules and doing things they're not supposed to be doing, or there is no game and Trump doesn't have absolute power. Trump doesn't have the influence. He doesn't have the ability to do the things that he says that he's doing. Which one is it?
Mama, I'm gonna give you the last word before we get up out of here to answer Megan's question.
I mean, as far as playing the game, I'm not. I hear what you're saying, but I don't even. Agree with the analogy that you gave as far as playing what game. I'm here and I am an American citizen following the rules, voting for the less of two.
When I said game last time, you said ding, ding, ding.
I don't remember what context we was talking about. Was we talking about Hitler? The question came up as far as you asked, or if Christian made the point that he's going to get rid of the mayor in DC, because he's a dictatorship. So that's what I'm talking about. He's playing his own game. He's beating to the drum of his own beat, or if I said that correctly. But to sum this up, to answer your question. Yes, Trump is Hitler, and yes, immigrants are the Jews.
Okay, so that's all we have to say. Meg, I don't want to hear your mouth. This is episode 48. If you made it to this point, thank you for watching another episode. I'm so glad Eric is not on. Hallelujah.
Oh, but y'all talked about him through the whole podcast.
I muted you. You so disrespectful. Thank you for watching. Son signing out. We got the what is it, Mama? The gay Black Panther signing out. Bye.
Bye.